Nini, you have such a beautiful voice. I'm curious, you're often described sort of as a pop artist, but is there a way that you describe the music you make?
No, I think at the end of the day, it is still a very much like pop music because it's very, I mean, at least I would like it to be like very memorable for people and easily recognizable. Maybe it has a little more depth to it, and maybe it's not like bubble pop, but it's definitely like I would want it to be like popular music, you know?
Who were some of the artists that influenced you when you were growing up?
Well, when I was very young, I didn't really have too much access to many American music because I'm from Georgia, Eastern Europe, and especially back then, and then I was born in 1996. I mean, I was growing up in the early 2000s, I guess, like as far as I can remember myself, but like we didn't really have my brother and I guess we would listen to folk music because that's what my dad liked, and they didn't really have access to like American music. So that's pretty much like all I was introduced to as at a very young age. And like some maybe some Georgian pop music, but like later on when I was like 8, 9, my uncle, my cousin who lived in Russia, he would come and bring like cassette players or like CD players with like I know with like American music. And I remember like the first artist that he introduced me with was Eminem, like completely different than what I do now, but I was completely and utterly like in love with him. I was like, what is this? Like, it's incredible. And I didn't really understand English at that time. So I would just like phonetically rap and like to his songs without even like knowing what the hell he was talking about. So but yeah, I mean later on I think I got into rock music. I loved grunge, more like classic rock, and then I eventually started listening to like a lot of Bjork and Radiohead. That's kind of like my favorite um, artists. Radiohead, Bjork, Aretha Franklin had a massive impact on, I guess, me as a vocalist. Um, but now, like, I don't know, I love like so many different artists and different kinds of music, whether it's like jazz or even hip hop. I love Kendrick Lamar and I love R&B. I love like James Blake, and I don't know, so many different artists inspire me. And then I love the new Rosalia album. I'm like completely obsessed. I mean, I always had like such a crush on her, always, like ever since like my friend introduced me to her, which was like years ago. But now it's just like she's grown so much, and I'm so proud of her, and I love her.
That's so sweet. I love your song, You Can't Control Me, and it's got an incredibly interesting backstory. What can you tell the fans, your fans, about how this came inspired?
So I wrote that song, that line, no, you can't control me, no, you can't. That line was just like in my head for weeks and weeks and weeks. And what inspired me was the summer I was on tour with my manager that was with me. So like a couple of weeks of being like around a person like 24/7 that can that can do a lot, like either positively or negatively. And I mean, we were already like kind of starting to see things like very differently. And I felt like I couldn't like really be myself because he would constantly tell me what to do and like how to uh how to be or like what songs to write and how to dress and just like pretty much wanted to change me as who I was. And it's not like we had like the similar idea like in the beginning and then I changed my mind. No, like I was always like who I was. And I thought we established that, and but then it was just like never enough. Like the songs that I would write or like the way I would dress or the way I would talk, I was definitely more like on the edgier side. And he would just be like, no, like you can't be talking like that, or you can't be saying that, or like you can't be cussing in your songs, or you can't be da da. And I'm like, okay, like if maybe if I was like a massive artist, like right, like and all the spotlights were on me. Like I understand maybe it's better to like, hold your horses a little bit, but now that I'm like just starting out, I feel like it's important to be like completely myself
Absolutely.
to
Establish it that way.
yeah, establishing it and also like to find my people. If I start like acting and like being somebody else now, it's gonna be like really hard for me down the line. Because then it means that like you have to have a mask on like 24/7. And it's like,
Yeah.
how can you keep up with that? So, and then being on tour with him, like I have nothing against the guy, like he's a nice guy, but it was just a lot. And I'm like, no, like you can't control me, like you can't tell me what to do. Like this is who I am. And I feel like we've established that already. And I went in the studio. He didn't even know about it. I went in the studio, with, yeah, with a bunch of super talented people that I met on Antisocial Club. It's a songwriting camp in New York, and we wrote this song. It was me, Chloe French, Greer Baxter, and Rami Bakie. I think I'm saying his last name correctly. Forgive me, Rami, if I'm not. But he's from Finland, a great producer. And we wrote the song. I'm like, this line has been in my head, and I really need to get this out of my like off my chest. And I think this song, like when I finished the song, like it really like pushed me to like, and end it with him. And I did it like in the middle of tour.
Wow.
Yeah. Best of luck to him though, like great guy.
I'm sure so many people relate to this song too. How have they been reaching out to you and telling you that they connect with it?
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. I feel like, in my case, it was with my management, but it's relatable in many other like relationships, I'm sure, whether it's like with your boss or like with your partner, because a lot of the times people forget that, this is not your life to direct,
Mhm.
I'm the author of my like of this book and my life, and I like you don't get to make changes. And I think the performance of the song has been like incredible so far because it's very relatable, and a lot of the times I will write songs that are like not so relatable and super like specific about like what happened to me and like my story. And I think this one has touched many people's hearts because like it happens to everybody, it's a super like popular issue, I guess, being played like a marionette, and could be like from a parent or like I said, like a partner. So yeah, it's been like received very well, which I'm super grateful for.
What's your songwriting process? Do you need to have a lyric and then you find the music that goes along with it, or does it change every time?
It changes every single time. Like I will literally either have a chord progression on a guitar and I'll just like hum to it, or I have a melody in my head and I'll then come up with a chord progression, or like I'll be messing on Cubase, like in Q I work in Cubase. I know like nobody works in Cubase except like me and Hans Zimmer, but I like work in Cubase, or like I'll come up with the beat and then write a song over. So it's like always different. Or like I've written a poem first and then like built a melody afterwards. So it's like it always changes. Like it also depends on the mood, and it also depends like where I'm at. I could be like in the car and just just humming a melody, and thank God for the phones, like you can always like
You voice note it.
yeah, yeah, thank God for technology.
How much of a hand then do you have on the production side of the music that you make?
Like for You Can Control Me, it was actually like my very first like collaboration with other songwriters too. Like usually I write like 100% of my music, or like I'll work with a producer, but normally I do my pre-production, and I mean I write my song, I do my pre-production just to get it to the point where a producer like understands what I'm trying to achieve with the sound, because I don't know, verbally it's sometimes like super difficult to like explain what you're looking for, especially nowadays that like every single artist I feel like has their own niche. You know, it's that time where it's not just like, oh, like classic rock, or it's not just, R&B. It's like very particular sound that every artist has found. So, in my case too, like I wanted to sound like extremely Nini Iris. Like I wanted to have that flair, and I want it to have that sound. So um, I try to do my pre-production and bring it to the producer and make it sound more professional and like prettier, I guess.
With You Can't Control Me out now, is this a prelude to a full album or an EP by chance?
Yes, I'm actually finishing up my EP right now. I still don't have this name yet. I mean, I have a few names, but I have to like make up my mind. It's going to be 5 songs, which one of them is going to be in my native language, Georgian. It's going to be the last track. I love that song so much. I wrote it last year, actually. Not didn't even think that I was going to put it out. Um, uh, because I don't know, it was just like too sad for me at the moment. But now that I'm like over that um breakup, I could like it doesn't feel as hard. It doesn't feel as like heavy anymore. So I can definitely keep like working on it. And yeah, 5 songs. I am shooting for February, but like as an independent artist, like things change like every single day. I just hope that I can have it done like as soon as I can, I guess, because I really want to put it out in February because then I have a whole different album, or not an album, but an EP of 6 songs that I want to release like the other half of next year. So a lot of work.
Do you have some upcoming live performances in mind?
Not yet, but I'm definitely gonna try to do a mini East Coast tour maybe after my EP release. Yeah, maybe springtime.
All right, are there some artists then that you dream about loving to collaborate with in the future? Obviously, Rosalia is up on there.
Yeah, 1,000%. Rosalia, Bjork, which is crazy that like two of my like favorite artists um did well, they actually did a couple of songs together. Bjork, Rosalia, James Blake for sure,
Ooh,
Tom York. It's a dream, like to be in the same room, like to breathe the same air as Tom York.
right.
Yeah, and I don't know, like I would love to collaborate with somebody like from um a pop world too, or like a hip hop world, like Kendrick Lamar would be like amazing to also like be in the same room as him would just, I don't know, kill me. Yeah.
What would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the beautiful music you continue to make?
You guys, thank you. If it wasn't for you, honestly, like what's the point of like putting out music, right? I would just be making it for myself. So if it wasn't for you, I would like my songs would never see the daylight. So thank you so much for supporting and thank you for just being you. Thank you for like listening to music. You know, there's not a lot of people that actually pay attention to music and listening to lyrics and trying to understand like what the song is actually about. And it's not just like in a Spotify playlist that plays in the background, you know. Thanks for actually taking time to see what's behind the song.